That was the point of being slow on the leg. So no, sorry, on that question. So now let's proceed to the next question. So the next question is 2.4. I'll also show the question paper to you. They are saying, at a certain stage of the motion, block Q breaks off and falls down. So this is how. So you had P, you had Q there. So now they're saying this one is falling, so you had the entire system. So you remember that first diagram. So they are saying now, or what I can do equivalently is to show you the original drawing. So what they're saying now is that this block is now breaking off. So now it's more like we are removing this block here at a certain stage. You are left with P only, which means now the mass of this unit is becoming smaller at this point. That's what they are saying. So at some point, Q breaks off and you're left with a smaller and lower mass. So here's the question. 2.4.1. How will each of the following be affected when this happens? So they are going to ask us question about this system. What will happen to the system when you remove that mass there? They are saying, what will happen to the tension of the string? So they are asking how much will be the force, which is the tension, the force on this string. If you remove a mass, that means now there's less pulling down power. There will be less pulling down power, which means now there will be less pull on this rope, which means now the force that will be on this rope will be smaller. That means the tension will decrease. That's what that means. So how will each of the following be affected when this happens? The tension in the string. Choose increases, decreases, or remain the same. So when this becomes less heavier or smaller weight, which is the force of gravity, will decrease here, which is the weight Fg. You will have a smaller Fg. If Fg is small, which is now the tension will be a bit smaller. So it will decrease. So to answer the previous question, 2.4.1, right, decreases. So the tension will decrease when tension decreases when the mass becomes smaller. So here's another question. What will happen to the velocity of the 20 kg block? Explain the answer. So the 20 kg block is moving to the right. So now, if you're breaking off this, there will be a smaller pulling down power. The velocity will decrease as well. Because now, the net force of this is in that direction. So, when you sum all the forces, the more dominant force is the one that is moving to that direction. So now, removing this might change the dynamic of this system as a whole, because now the force that is going to that side is not as strong as before, because we have removed the force of gravity, which increases the tension. So now the velocity of this will decrease, because now the net force will no longer be strongly dominant to that side. So it will be reduced a little. I'm not sure if that makes sense. So let me go and answer it. On the other side, what I'm saying is velocity decreases. Now, why? The net force will no longer be okay. At F net dominance to the right will decrease. Ne? Or will decrease, obviously. That might change the direction of the system. So I'm realizing that I've written below this. So what I'm saying is that the net force will dominance to the right will become smaller, so the velocity will be slower, or it might even be net force might even end up going to the right, which is now changing the entire direction of the system. So this is where this question ends.